her. So very cool to see her lining up here. But there's a start list there. We've got New Zealand, ICF team or the Olympic refugee team, Italy, Australia, Hungary, the independent nations, Switzerland, Germany, and another independent nation there. But like you said, I've had a lot of very hard fought races with this girl on the screen here. She loves a good 1,000-meter race, and she's certainly not going to leave any stone unturned. But it's Amy Fisher there in lane one. I'd be surprised not to see her in front of this race, that's for sure. She loves to hurt herself. I've done a lot of training sessions with Amy over the years and seen how well she can run the boat, and I'm sure she's very excited. She loves the art and the craft of kayaking, and like I said earlier, the 1,000 meters is all about the arts and the craft of kayaking, so I'm sure she'll enjoy this race.
And probably feels she's got something to prove. Such a big year in the lead up to, I mean, one of the very few people who've ever beaten Lisa Carrington, which was an incredible notch on her belt. But then, you know, she didn't get the result she wanted in Paris. And I reckon this time round, she is determined to go that little bit better and to get up there on the podium and to pick up a gold in Los Angeles. She's gone out pretty hard here. Rendesi just paddling a very measured race, and the Australian Raywood right on her hammer there, putting in a nice race. What's her pedigree like in 1,000 meters, Elise? The Australian paddler Jasmine Raywood.
She's a former junior world champion in the K1000, so obviously knows how to race this race, but she's also a surf Ironwoman athlete, and she's in our professional series back here in Australia. And so a lot of athletes come from surf lifesaving and the ski paddling, and Jazzy's good at all of it. She's a swimmer, she's a board paddler and a ski paddler and a runner. And lucky for us, with Paddle Australia, she's trying her hand at kayaking as well. So like I said, a former junior world champion over this distance, a very, very fit young athlete, and making her World Cup debut in this race. But as Amy Fisher, obviously in front, looking very calm, cool and collected. Her boat's not moving much. You can see her legs really driving up and down, making every stroke count. We've got Rendesi there, the Hungarian paddler. Similar to what we spoke about in Heat 1, the Hungarians have a lot longer, more loping, powerful stroke. They're really putting the power down every stroke and making it count, but it's a very strung out field here. I wouldn't mind betting, you know, if we get good conditions for this final tomorrow, Amy could go very close to the world's best time, which I think is held by another Kiwi paddler, Tennille Hatton. So I think the Kiwis might have all of the world's best times in the women's events. I could be wrong, but that's what my mind is telling me. But she's got 250 meters to go here, and she's got a very formidable lead, followed by the Hungarian, and then maybe the German there. Oh, sorry, the independent nations there in lane 9. Rounding out top 3 going through to the final.
Yeah, interestingly, so you'd back Amy Fisher to beat Melina Anderson over 1,000, do you reckon? I mean, this is going to be a great contest if those two get to go head-to-head in a final. I'm licking my lips in anticipation already, but you reckon Fisher would have the upper hand?
That's a good question. I mean, I think it'll be a tight race, but I just love the way that Amy runs her boat, and I think we haven't really seen her over 1,000, so who knows? But she is very, very good at this type of paddling, and I think given the right conditions, she could have a very, very good race. So I am excited to see what those two can do together, and I think they'll be lining up in lanes right next to each other in the final if obviously Amy takes out this race. She's just switching off now, having a bit of a look around. It's going through just under a 4-minute there, followed by the Hungarian and the independent nation there off to the side. They'll take out your top 3 and go straight through to the final in, like we said, what I'm sure is going to be a very hot final, and anything that Amy is in, a lot of people are watching, that's for sure. So I think there'll be a lot of people on the sidelines looking in anticipation of this result.
And I reckon Lisa Carrington watching at home in New Zealand, she'll be thinking, well, I don't mind you taking on the 1,000, Amy. You can have that all to yourself, because I don't think we're going to see Lisa lining up in a 1,000-meter race anytime soon. She'll be very happy just to leave that one to Amy, and we'll be, I'm sure, as interested as we will be to see how she'll go in that final. And if she goes up as she will do alongside Melinda Anderson, what a race that's going to be. So it was Fisher, Rendesi and Babashinskaya from the independent nations. They were your first three athletes through. The Australian just died off a little bit there. It looks like she tailed out maybe just went a bit too hard a bit early there. At least she dropped out towards the back of the field, so not the finish that she would have been hoping for by the look of things.
No, I'm sure she's not, but I think she's lining up a bit later in the day, maybe in the K2 500 with Alyssa Bailey, and so she'll be looking at maybe making a bit of a better effort than that, but obviously making her World Cup debut and very exciting for a young paddler.